Iron Gwazi was supposed to open in 2018, or should I say Twisted Tiger was supposed to open in 2018. Don't believe me? Watch this video to the end and I will answer why Iron Gwazi took so long to get built, why it looks so much like Zadra, and most importantly, why the theme makes a lot more sense than you might think. Over the past couple of months, I have become known for my predictions and speculation, but mostly theories. Today isn't just the most in-depth I've gone on a coaster, but it will change the way you look at RMC, Busch Gardens Tampa, and of course, SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment. If you're new to the channel and enjoy the content, click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any future coaster theories. Also, before we get into the video, I just want to say none of this is confirmed and it's all just a theory from an enthusiast. With that all said, enjoy. Before we get into Iron Gwazi as a whole, I want to bring up some background. Let's start with the similarities between Zadra and Iron Gwazi. Why are they nearly identical? Now, when I say identical, I don't mean clones, I mean the significant similarities in layouts. Don't agree? Look at it from this perspective. Both Iron Gwazi and Zadra have a height of 206 feet. After the drop, both coasters go into a massive turnaround, which funny enough, both of these elements bank out at the top. After that follows an enormous inversion, which ironically enough, people are saying could be the two best inversions in the world. They also have a wave turn over the station, and both endings are low to the ground airtime hills until the train slams into the brakes. Zach, that's it? Well, no. Even though pre-lift sections are typical on RMCs, neither Iron Gwazi or Zadra has one. Granted, Iron Gwazi has a small dip, but that's because the train had to follow the same course the old Tiger side once took. These two coasters are two of three that use the modern RMC see-through lift structure, and both of them use the RMC steering axle trains. And of course, the biggest similarity being they are both hybrids built by Rocky Mountain Construction. Let's call all of this the RMC Formula. The biggest difference between them being Zadra is ground up, but Iron Gwazi is considered a retrofit. Even though Iron Gwazi uses almost no Gwazi structure, it reuses about 80% of the old Gwazi footers. If you were to look at Gwazi from a Google Earth point of view, you can see the path that Iron Gwazi now takes. All in all, RMC had to build Iron Gwazi within the boundaries of the footers. How could RMC keep the RMC formula if they had to work within the perimeter? Ready for my hypothesis? RMC designed Iron Gwazi before Zadra, and then Zadra took inspiration from Iron Gwazi. It's all just flip-flopped. Because this is a coaster theory, let's just play around and ask the question, was Iron Gwazi designed before Zadra? I think there's a good chance it was. Let me explain. Gwazi has been closed since 2015, and now that it's reopening in 2020, that gives a 5-year gap to when RMC could have designed RMC Gwazi. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Busch Gardens saw additions like Texas Giant, Iron Rattler, Wicked Cyclone, and Twisted Colossus, which are all coasters that opened prior or around Gwazi's closing. Busch could have then reached out to RMC and asked what they could do with the Gwazi structure. RMC would design RMC Gwazi, give the plans to the park, but unfortunately, SeaWorld would be unable to pay for it because this is all happening around the time of the financial issues. Now pause. Why would RMC design a hyper hybrid if they never built one before? Because keep in mind, developing a coaster in 2015 is years before Steel Vengeance. Steel Vengeance's design was complete when they started the process on RMC Gwazi. Alan Schilke said Steel Vengeance was a 2-year project, which would get them started late 2015, early 2016. As far as the 2 years go, the layout took a couple of months as it should, but the rest was just fabrication and construction. Once RMC finished the design on Steel Vengeance, that's when Busch approached them, and RMC told Busch that they could now build hypers because they just finished one, that being Steve. This also explains why Iron Gwazi is specifically 206 feet, so it would be the tallest when it opened, being taller than the already designed 205-foot Steel Vengeance. Unpause. So if Iron Gwazi was designed in 2015, why didn't they build it back then? Why is it only coming now in 2020? Gwazi closed, and time, Busch expected to give it the hybrid treatment, and so they had RMC create a layout. When the time came to fabricate the coaster, SeaWorld didn't have enough money to pay for it, so they put the project on pause for a couple of years, unsure if they would be able to revisit the plans. While the Gwazi project was on hiatus, RMC was approached by Energylandia, and this is where Zadra comes into play. Energylandia wanted a hybrid, but not just any hybrid, a record breaker. In order to claim the record, Alan Schilke had to build above 205 feet. Sound familiar? He did the same thing with Iron Gwazi. That explains why Iron Gwazi and Zadra are the same height. Both parks wanted the record. Alan had the chance to build taller than Steel Vengeance, and because the coaster is entirely ground up, he used the see-through lift structure previously used on Goliath at Six Flags Great America. When in the design phase for Zadra, Alan referenced Iron Gwazi and used the same formula for Zadra, the RMC Formula. The other big difference that decided the fate of these coasters was Energylandia could pay for it, and they wanted it as soon as possible. Once Busch Gardens was stable enough to revisit the RMC Gwazi plans, they made some minor adjustments, including a steeper drop to take the record, because they no longer had the height record. Maybe you're still not convinced Iron Gwazi was designed after Steel Vengeance in 2016. What if I told you this animation might have been made in 2016? Far before the Iron Gwazi name was chosen. Remember when this animation was released, it had both purple and orange colored tracks? Well, I think that orange track was the original color for RMC Gwazi far before the crocodile theme was set in stone. Longtime enthusiasts know where I'm going with this one. SeaWorld trademarked 3 names: Tigress, Uproar, and Twisted Tiger. I believe one of these 3 names would have been chosen alongside the orange track to replace the old Woody that was formerly themed to a tiger. This also explains why now Iron Gwazi's train comes out of the old tiger side of Gwazi's station. Twisted Tiger was supposed to be BGT's big comeback coaster since their last one was built in 2011, Cheetah Hunt. But once plans were put on hold, they didn't know if they were going to be able to build it, so what did they do to make up for it? They added Tigress, SeaWorld's third Skyrocket 2. As the name suggests, they already used their trademark name for the coaster and gave it the tiger theme. That explains why the park built a second triple launch coaster with 1 inversion, all because it was a last-minute decision. A couple years later, when the RMC Gwazi plans resurfaced, they no longer could use the tiger theme because they just used it on Tigress. BGT found themselves in a hole because they wanted to pay tribute to Gwazi in some way without using the tiger theme. So what'd they do? They kept the Gwazi name. They would name it Iron Gwazi. Many people criticized the name, and I admittedly fell into that group. They can't just change a Gwazi, a lion-tiger animal, to a Gwazi, a crocodile. But the park wanted to pay tribute to Gwazi, but they couldn't use the tiger theme. Why didn't they just use the lion theme? Easy. Lions and tigers are both cats. They wanted something other than a cat theme. But in the end, I think we all can agree a reptile theme, specifically a crocodile, was a great choice. And of course, my favorite part of the video, that's why the park was so excited to announce Iron Gwazi at Tigress's announcement, because they have waited so long for their plans to finally come through. If you've made it this far and are not already subscribed, click that subscribe button down below and turn on post notifications so you get informed when I upload my next coaster theory. I want to thank all of you for 4,000 subscribers. I know it's not the biggest milestone to celebrate, but I love all of you and thank you all for taking a chance on me. Here's to 5,000. If you're interested in supporting the channel, click that top link in the description to pick up some of your own theme park media merchandise. I just dropped a new design and I think it's pretty fire. If you enjoyed today's video and want to see more just like it, click this playlist right here. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click my logo right here. I'm Zach from Theme Park Media signing off, and I will catch you in the next one.